Hi there, this is Datila and welcome to the TNAIW GoGo Power Rankings show. As always, I'm joined by my co-host Burt Maclin, no relation to Steve Maclin.
How's it going? It's morphin time.
Pterodactyl. Oh wait, I'm not even wearing pink. I should say Mastodon. Wait, you're wearing black and I'm wearing black. Okay, you can be the Mastodon and I'll be Ninja Ranger Power now.
You're going too deep. I don't remember any of this.
Well, how you don't remember any of it, but last week you summoned the power of the Tyrannosaurus and you got the Red Ranger to appear on the show.
A special appearance. Didn't come cheap. Blew the whole budget for the year.
No, you and Jeff killed it last week. You guys did amazing. All right, so who do you expect to see on this week's Power Rankings?
Well, since we're coming off of Emergence and the last image is Josh Alexander retaining his belt in a great match against Alex Shelley. Just a great match. I would expect him to be number one. But for me, I want to see Mike Bailey as number one. I think he deserves it. He has just put that belt on his back and really made the X Division. It's always going to be important in Impact, but he just makes it must see every week because you don't know who he's going to defend it against. It's been, pretty much an open door. He's defending against a who's who competition. So I want to see him at number one.
I had an argument for you.
What?
So who had the better X Division title reign? Josh Alexander or Speedball Mike Bailey?
I'm going to go with Mike Bailey right now.
Really?
Yeah. No. I will go with Josh just because it ended with him cashing in option C. But I can see very well, even if Mike Bailey doesn't do that, I'll talk about it a little bit more in a little bit, but he's doing some really historical stuff right now, Mike Bailey, I would say.
Yeah, it's definitely to pick between Josh Alexander and Speedball Mike Bailey as a better X Division champion. Josh Alexander never lost that title. Like you said, he cashed in option C, so we had to wait and see what happens with Mike Bailey's title reign.
Yeah.
But I also expect to see Eddie Edwards on our top 10. I mean, he did become number one contender to Josh Alexander at Bound for Glory, which is, I think, something we saw coming. But we'll talk more about that after we see the Power Rankings. But before we get started, how would people join the Power Rankings?
It's very, very simple. Just reach out to me on Twitter at Burt Maclin11, DM or just a regular message, and we'll get you into the Power Rankings. All we're looking for is people who watch the show every week and can get out a quick top 10 before Sunday. It's that simple. So if you like Impact and you want to contribute, hit me up.
All right. Well, that being said, let's play the Power Rankings. Number 10, Rich Swann. Number 9, Time Machine. Number 8, Bullet Club's Chris Bay. Number 7, DK and Company. Number 6, Killer Kelly. Number 5, World Champion Jordan Grace. Number 4, Tag Team Champions Vex. Number 3, World Champion Josh Alexander. Number 2, Honor No More's Eddie Edwards. Number 1, X Division Champion Mike Bailey. Okay, I have to say, Mike Bailey, number 1, he took the number 1 spot away from Josh Alexander. So much well deserved, honestly.
He deserves it, and it's like I said on my point I was trying to make. Since he has been champion, he's defended against Trey Miguel, Alan Angels, Diener, Rocky Romero, Jack Evans, and Chris Bay for 6 defenses of Impact, and he had a defense outside of Impact. So that's 7 title defenses. 7. I'm not sure of the record, but that's a lot.
It definitely is a lot. I believe commentary made note of the fact that Christopher Daniels has the most title defenses. I believe they said 13 title defenses in 6 months.
Wow. So yeah, he would need 7 to tie it, and Impact 8 more to. That's a lot. So I don't expect him to do that, but if he gets a double digit, that's very impressive in his first reign.
No, yeah, you gotta hand it to Mike Bailey. Impressive, nonstop. I mean, I kind of want no lie. When he came on board, I kind of did think that he was going to be in a tag team with Ace Austin, which he kind of was a little bit. But I'm really glad that he separated from Ace Austin.
Yeah, and good, because now we have Ace Austin in Bullet Club because he wasn't in before. So I think it did work out, and yeah, I like Bailey on his own. I definitely like.
Too. Me too, definitely. Speaking of Bullet Club, okay, Chris Bay taking the number 8 spot. I have to say, I'm really not happy with Chris Bay being at number 8. I understand why he's on number 8, but my biggest gripe with Chris Bay is the fact that he loses a lot. I feel like he needs to start winning more. When before Ace Austin even joined Bullet Club, like Chris Bay was the one that was taking the pins for the Bullet Club, and I didn't like that. I don't like the fact that Bay keeps losing. I think, was it him that got the pin when they lost against the Motor City Machine Guns? I believe so, right?
I believe so. Yeah, he's losing too much, and that's not too sweet.
That's not too sweet.
And I don't see how, like, if you're as soon as the beginning of this year, he was thought of to be like one of the future major stars in this company. If you were to just see him for this first time now and see him taking all these pins, you'd be like, wait a minute, is this who they were talking about? So yeah, they need to definitely, like, I don't know. Do I need to call Scott? Do I need to get him on the phone? Do I need to tell him to step his game up? He needs to be booking Chris Bay better, because he shouldn't be taking all these pins.
Yeah, and not to mention, Jay White personally recruited Chris Bay into the Bullet Club. You would think that would have constituted like a major push for Chris Bay. Like, he would have gotten wins after wins after wins. But it seemed like at the very beginning, he won a little bit, then he started losing. And like whenever it was him and Jay White, he was the one taking the pin whenever they lost.
I just have nightmares of Chris Bay keeping losing and then kicking him out of the Bullet Club, and I would cry.
Me too.
Like, they just seem to, like, they need to do something. Like, he should not be, especially like when there's someone other than the Bullet Club member, someone else from the Bullet Club area who's not signed to Impact. He should take the pin. Doesn't really affect them. Chris Bay should not.
Yeah, Hikuleo should have taken the pin at some point. Even ELP.
Yeah, like I said, I hope things change. I hope maybe down the road we see maybe an Ace and Bay tag team title run, or at least maybe another Bay X Division run. But yeah, no more unnecessary pins for Chris Bay, please.
Yeah, definitely. Chris Bay's got to start racking up those wins.
Before we finish up with the top 10, I just want to point out too how, like, in the short amount of time, at number 4, Vex has already established himself as probably the top knockout act in the company. I don't know, that's just me. I know they're not world champion, but they're legit stars, like Chelsea Green and Deanna Money. So number 4 already. I could see him be number 1 soon. So
no, definitely, I do agree. Vex is amazing. I'm really surprised that they won the tag titles this early. I wasn't expecting them to win. I wanted them to win, but I didn't think they would win it this early. I thought that they would eventually do so, maybe like at Victory Road or Bound for Glory. So I'm very curious to see what their match at Bound for Glory is now that they are tag team champions.
Yeah, and I just think it was the right time, because they also have, like, the Rosemary and Ty have this internal storyline with Jessica, so like it would get the titles off them, and they have another storyline, else going on, so it's not like they needed the titles at this moment. So now we see find another contender for Deanna and Chelsea. So I'm interested to see what that's going to be.
Definitely. She's Jessica with the K because she's sick.
She's fun. She's fun.
Yeah. Okay, so number 2, Eddie Edwards. I'm not surprised he's at number 2. I'm not surprised he's number 1 contender. You and I have talked about this. The writing was on the wall. Eddie Edwards was going to be Josh Alexander's next opponent.
Yeah, like as soon as he turned heel, you could see that this is where it was eventually going to go. I don't know how anyone couldn't see that, like especially like with the way he's saying that it should have been him, like. And then as soon as you knew where Bound for Glory was, like it's like I know it's not Boston, but you know it's New York, like that's pretty close. So why not put the title on Eddie at what is supposed to be the biggest pay-per-view of the year? You know, that would put Josh around like I think like 150 or so days, 60 days. It's not like a terribly long, but it's not like it's longer than his first reign, which was like 10 seconds. So, which I don't mean as a slight to Josh. I'm just saying like it's a good reign. You know, he's had some good defenses, but I said from the beginning, this is the one way that you could make Eddie Edwards champion again. Because I didn't think he would be champion ever again in his current character. So more power to him. You know what I mean? He reinvented himself a little bit. So
I have to say, oh, sorry. I have to say, Josh Alexander loses to Eddie Edwards. That would be 2 years in a row he loses the title at Bound for Glory.
Well, damn, I didn't think about that. Okay, if you wanted to, I could totally see like, which I don't know if they would do. I don't know if that's what Impact sends to TV, but you could totally give Josh like just some random opponent down for Glory, big name, some from New Japan, and then the next night, Thursday, have Eddie somehow challenge and win. Because yeah, you're right. I don't know if Josh cares about that, but I don't know if they want him to lose 2 years in a row Bound for Glory. But if he does, that could add to his storyline later. But yeah, I didn't think about that. That sucks.
Yeah, because I mean, technically, he defeated Christian last year, won the title, then he lost to Moose right away. So it would be 2 years that he lost the title at Bound for Glory.
Oh yeah,
Eddie Edwards.
That sucks. That really sucks. Damn it, now I feel bad, but I don't see how they don't put the title on Eddie. I don't see any other way. Then what does it all mean if they don't? What was it all for?
That's true. That's true. I think that's the biggest question we have to ask going into Bound for Glory. Does Eddie Edwards defeat Josh Alexander, or is he just another obstacle for Josh Alexander to get through as he continues his reign at the top?
Because if Josh doesn't lose now, I don't see anyone at this current point because they obviously can position him in a month, but there hasn't been anyone that I can think that they would put in right away that's not involved in other storylines. So, like, I don't know what they would do. So I think it's time for Eddie to take it.
I think Eddie takes it. I mean, like you said, the whole reason he turned heel, the whole purpose why he turned on Impact Wrestling was because he didn't get the opportunity to challenge for the Impact World title. He didn't get the opportunity to face Omega. You know, and he was furious that Josh Alexander jumped him in line for that opportunity. So it makes perfect sense that Eddie Edwards would defeat Josh Alexander at Bound for Glory.
Yeah, I just don't see any other way where if they want it to make sense. I think this is what makes the most sense. So I think Josh had a good run, but yeah, I think Eddie is taking it down for Glory.
Yeah, I think he's losing. And you know, I like Josh Alexander. He's an amazing wrestler. He's had banger of a matches, but I think it makes much more sense for Eddie Edwards to take the belt off Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, like you said, if Eddie loses, I don't see who would be a viable contender to take that title off of him.
Yeah, like Johnny Swinger hasn't finished training Zicky Dice yet, so Zicky's not quite ready. You know what I mean? As soon as he has maybe a little more time in the dojo, you know what I mean, in the dungeon, maybe he'll be ready in a few years, but it's Eddie's time.
Well, actually, the only other person I can think of would probably be Steve Maclin, but because of his recent of what's going on recently with him winning and losing, I don't see him as a viable contender yet. I think that they would have to rebuild Steve Maclin back up and then have him go after Josh.
Well, I definitely see if Eddie wins and then Sammy wins, Sammy being the first opponent for Eddie just because they have history after Josh faces him. I think Sammy's been on a roll lately. I can see Sammy being put back in the main event scene here soon. Moose is always there. Like you said, Maclin. There's options.
Yeah, I think that there is, but I think we covered a lot.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say before we get ready to sign off?
No, I just think that he's on the road to Victory Road, and then the bigger picture Bound for Glory. I would just say to pay attention to every little moment. Every moment matters, and if you don't, you might miss something, that's going to add to the storyline. So just watch Impact.
What he said.
Yeah, thank you.
I couldn't have put it a better way. So what he said, listen to Burt. Okay, Burt knows exactly what he's talking about. He's been in the game for 10 years making rap tunes ever since Honey was wearing Sassoons.
Okay.
I'm just quoting quoting California Love.
I know. It was just funny.
Okay, well, with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continuous support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever this video drops or whenever TNAIW releases another video. And may the power protect each and every one of you. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.